This is a warning to all living mortals, that who shall ever open this chest of demons will release 13 of the most terrifying ghosts upon the face of the earth. Okay, cut it. This isn't going to work. Let's try some nostalgia bait.
It's kind of strange. You looking at the leaving rain. I can't tell if you're in bed, or have you picked your target yet? It's empty. Don't your dog bite? It's empty.
Okay, that was better. But let's try something a bit more cinematic.
Hey, where my broken arrows at? They try to tell us we can't fly. Like we too broken or something. I mean, I'd rather let them know. Balls up. Hold up. My squad about to roll up. Hold up. My squad about to roll up. Get them balls up. Get them balls up. Get them balls up. Get them balls up. Hold up. My squad about to roll up. Hold up. My squad about to roll up. All the way up. Get them balls 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 all the way up. Broken arrows get bows up. Sometimes I pray with my nose up. Thinking about when the world crumbles and my whole squad just goes up. Ain't gotta worry, we straight like an arrow, yeah. Ain't gotta worry about faith, nope. I'm on that straight and the narrow, yeah. I just go straight like an arrow, yeah.
Yeah, that's the shit I like. Let's start the Barroom podcast. Take it away, Jacob.
Yeah, I don't know if there was a delay on anybody else's side, but it seems like on mine StreamYard is a little out sync. It might not be a StreamYard issue. Here's the thing. If you guys know my whole story, my AC went out for a couple of days, and it's Georgia and it's June. So AC for 3 days is not a good thing in any stretch of the imagination. So I think my modem may be suffering some heat-related stress. But the good news is I'm dumping Xfinity here with the move. So, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much anyway. This is my last show, so... Hey, everyone. We're here for episode 154 of the Barroom cast, and I'm joined with the only people who I guess survived this weekend. There's a lot of casualties to this weekend. I'm not talking about Iran and Israel or anything like that. I'm talking about just generally our group of people here. You guys heard Rob has strep throat. Cider barely made it back from North Carolina. He had a kind of a traveling snafu, and now he's dealing with 95-degree temperatures in Maine, so he's kind of going through the motions at the moment. Somebody asked me earlier where Orange Hat is. I think he's incarcerated. I think he got arrested for being literally too gay to function in society. So I believe that's exactly what happened. Either that, or he said that he was taking time off to be with his family. It's one of those two, I'm sure. But yeah, he's gone. So right now it's just, me, Eddie, and our good buddy Brahma Bull joining us here for a little bit of the show. How's it going, Brahma?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm doing pretty well. We're here for the show. We'll run through what we got here tonight. We also got our good buddy Eddie Brock's here. How's it going, Eddie?
There's nothing gayer than hanging out with your family. If you're going to have a chance, go ahead and hang out with the dudes. Hang out with the dudes. Don't bother with your family.
Yeah. Get in front of a camera on stream.
Yep. We all got a lot of stuff going on here tonight. So we got Kenny Powers over there. Leslie Tarkin's joining us here tonight as well. Yeah, Cider enjoyed his stay. Well, he enjoyed his stay. It was the getting back home part that sucked for him. So I know he's going through a little bit right now. Vanya's joining us here tonight. Keith's over on the Rumble side of things. Terminator Joe saying howdy to everyone. Like I said, Brahma's in the chat with you guys here tonight. Did Rick get picked up? No, unfortunately not. He's still around. He's the one person that they won't send back.
They won't take it.
Exactly.
They don't want him.
Next
Maybe
goal
like
is like
Gets into the alligator Alcatraz. Did you guys hear about that?
What happened?
They're going to rebuild
ICE is
Alcatraz.
building. No, they're building. They're building a detention facility in the Everglades in Florida, just in the heart of alligator country. So they're like, yeah, that's where we're going to send illegals that we can't send somewhere else. And they're not going to try to get out because it's just crocodile and alligator infested waters everywhere. Pythons.
No, go ahead, leave. Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Save us lots of money.
Try it. Get out.
Good luck. There's the last guy over there. See how far we can make it past him.
But it actually got approval, so they are building it. It's crazy.
That seems like a theme of like a movie. Like if America wasn't gay, somebody would make that movie like alligators versus illegals.
Yeah. Like in the style of Fortress or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, who else we got here? Mark's joining us here tonight's show as well. So we got a lot to unpack for tonight's show. Then we'll have a little bit of fun. I'm pretty sure Eddie's internet just crapped out here for a second, so he'll be back momentarily. But let's get started with this. I want to talk about this because this to me is probably one of the funniest stories out there in all of the world of entertainment. It's the fact that Blade still isn't out. And it's probably never going to come out at this point, and it's just absolutely hilarious that we keep dropping the ball on this movie. So I want to show you guys a little video here. This video is so old, believe it or not, this was pre-COVID. So this is how long this film has been in development. We're going back to Comic-Con 2019 when the announcement was made about the new Blade movie. So let's play a little bit of this here.
But I want to leave you today with one more thing that I don't think has been rumored about. Ladies and gentlemen, two-time Academy Award winner, Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, this is very rare when you get to see a live happening in front of you.
It looks like you brought your own hat, Mahershala. You did? What is that?
I don't know what that is. We're too far away from the stage.
Yeah. They're cheering anyway. They don't care.
Yeah, they put it on the screen eventually.
So that was the announcement 6 years ago, that they were doing a Blade movie with Mahershala Ali, and the whole thing has been a complete and total disaster up to this point. This was supposed to be one of the last films to come out in the last phase of the MCU. I think it was originally slated for at one point October 2024, but then that got removed, and here we are a full calendar year later. It still hasn't come out yet, and here we are, like I said, 6 years after that announcement. We still haven't officially gone into pre-production for this movie. So that means there hasn't been a single so literally, just in case you guys aren't following this story here so far, Wesley Snipes came back to be Blade before the MCU Blade movie got done, and this is where we're at now. So now he's basically saying that, hey, if Marvel wants to do this movie, just call him, let them know that I'm ready. Which means that 6 years, they're still got nothing here. This thing's a mess. So it's been, nearly 6 years since that announcement where Kevin Feige went on stage and announced that Ali was going to be the new Blade. I'm pretty sure Ali is probably aged out of the role at this point, too, because isn't he like in his mid-50s now? Like, do you really want to be in like your mid to late 50s in your first Blade movie? Is that something that you probably want to be? Who gets that here?
Vampire.
This is where you just call back Snipes and say, okay, Mahershala Ali is too old, so we're just going to go with old Blade.
Snipes still looks fantastic. It'd be a great idea.
And if you're going to do old Blade...
Colored his facial hair in Deadpool and Wolverine, he'd look exactly the same as he used to.
Mm-hmm. And if you're going to do old Blade, there's really no reason to not do Wesley Snipes unless you just want to be a bunch of cheap bastards. So, I mean, there's that. But
he's not being replaced by a girl. That's the reason why they don't want to bring him back in.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem that they've had with the scripts, though, is they kept trying to surround Blade with 5 women and make the women the highlight of it, from what I've heard.
Well, yeah. So this film has gone through a series of writers, directors have fallen out of this whole thing too, because I guess the original plan is that they were essentially going to use Ali as kind of a placeholder to, I guess, introduce the character of Blade and then hand it off to a woman somewhere halfway during the movie. And obviously, those plans did not go over very well.
Right. Well, I mean, Sinners was originally one of the scripts that. What's his name? Coogler had tried to get through as a Blade script for this movie, and they rejected it.
Oh, well, it's good to see that Marvel made the right decision there, right? But yeah, so
we don't want that.
There wasn't enough There wasn't enough KKK vampires in Blade that they had to do a spin-off.
But yeah, Ali just says, in the New York premiere of his Jurassic World movie. So it's been so long, he's now part of the Jurassic World franchise now. So that just goes to show you how off the rails this whole thing has been. But he basically said, I'm ready. Let them know I'm ready. It's like, why do you have to let them know you're ready? You're the star of the movie. Like, shouldn't they be working around you at this point? So did they just say, oh, go off and just do a bunch of movies and we'll just call you when we figured out what we're doing over on this end? But yeah, the film was supposed to come out, I think, its official date was supposed to be November 3rd, 2023, and then got pushed back to October. And then I think at another point they were going to do it next November, and now it's just been suspended indefinitely. And here's a couple of things that have happened. Bassam Tariq was set to direct the movie before he exited 3 years ago, just 2 months into the production start of that film. Then another director, Jan Damager, joined the film, and then he exited. Then, a couple of actors who were supposed to be alongside Ali, they have both exited the project. The screenwriters have jumped off. It's like, it's just to the point where they keep telling you, but hey, we're still committed to Blade. We're still going to do Blade, but like, is anyone excited for this? That there's been so many issues behind the scenes of just getting how hard is it just to do a black guy kills vampires movie? Like, it shouldn't be that difficult, right?
It should be the easiest script in the world, and they can't figure out a script for this. That's amazing. Yeah. It's baffling.
And then, like I said, the guy, I mean, how old is he at this point? So it's like, so you gotta think, even if they were to somehow get their stuff together and shoot this film, he's 51 years old now. So you have to go into pre-production, and then you have to, do all the little Marvel stuff behind the scenes. So even best case scenario, you're not gonna see a Blade movie till 2027? He'll be 53 years old by the time this comes out. He was only 44, 45 years old when they made the announcement. So I'm pretty sure they thought they were gonna get at least 2 movies out of him at this point, but they haven't even gotten started with the first one. So again, like, what fundamentally is the point of even holding on to this project? I think it's mostly the fact that Marvel just doesn't want to take a public L and just be like, okay, we screwed this one up, so we're just going to trash it and move on. So they're basically dangling it like on a string, like, no, we still got it, but it's like, we don't got it at all.
The weird thing is, with his acting accolades, why does he want to be in a Marvel movie at this point? I mean, yes, maybe in the first 3 phases, but they're all crap right now. I mean, they've got to know that. And you would think he's the only person who has stuck with this whole production this whole time. Everybody else is left.
Yep. And I'm not even sure that he's going to stay on, because like I said, it's going to get to a point where someone's just going to be like, why not just bring Wesley Snipes back? Everyone liked him in Deadpool 3, so let's just do another one with him. Let's just do Old Man Blade.
That would make more sense. Everybody was fine with that, and that actually resets where the earliest portion of the MCU started if you tied in Old Man Blade.
Yeah.
If it's part of the actual overall cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Because then you incorporate the original 3 Blades into the MCU.
Yeah, it's just, what was it? Last Phase 5, I think, is the one that, I guess, because it was the one immediately after, Endgame, and they don't want to just publicly admit that Endgame was the end of this whole thing, because they just had to keep it going because of how much money it was generating, but they fumbled this thing terribly ever since then, and now you got, like, the movies are not doing as well as they once were. The Disney Plus shows, people are completely ice cold on. By the way, tonight was the release and the premiere of Ironheart. Is anyone going to go watch that Ironheart series that just dropped on Disney Plus tonight? It's available right now.
I don't know what an Ironheart is.
It's basically
It's
Black
the
Girl
female
Iron
Man.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm not gonna watch that.
And she's also like supposed to be like high level genius. I think.
Yeah.
I don't.
Marvel had the
don't care at all.
Marvel had this weird thing in like the last 15 years where it's like it was well established that like guys like Tony Stark and Reed Richards and Doom, guys like that were like the smartest people in like the Marvel universe. But then like these new writers were like, no, the smartest person in the Marvel universe needs to be a black girl. So then they started coming out with like a series of black women who were always smarter than like the next black woman they introduced. So it was like Ironheart, and then it was like Moon Girl at one point, and I'm pretty sure there was at least 3 or 4 others that they introduced to be like, oh no, she's the smartest black girl in the MCU. So now it just became like all the smart people are just like, you know, black
Nothing
women.
Nothing worse than a sorority sister inception going on. It's terrible.
Yeah. Basically the high elite of the Marvel universe is Grambling University apparently.
I'd like to say one thing though for what's his name. I'm glad this guy actually didn't make the Blade movie, Mahershala Ali. I'm happy that he didn't make the movie because he actively, because look what came after Endgame and everything. It's all the bad stuff, the Eternals and She-Hulk and all this stuff that everyone just completely dismisses. At least he did not get any of that like bad rub. He didn't get any of the shit, right? He is completely isolated from any of that. So if they ever decided to make a Blade movie or whatever, he at least can say, hey, I had nothing to do with all that garbage. If anything, Blade can be like a new beginning for the Marvel franchise or whatever. But I gotta give it to him. At least he's not Kevin Feige out there every year saying, we're gonna bring a Blade movie coming, guys. Don't worry about it,
Guys, I know I've been telling you about this movie for 6 years, and we haven't even gone into pre-production yet. But trust me, we're working on it.
Look, I saw the last paragraph on that article. It says, "We're with Ali's vision." What vision? This dude hasn't done a thing yet for 6 years. He doesn't know. He might
At this point, you've lost 3 writers so far. You might as well just have him write the movie.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so at least this guy Ali, he's gonna at least get. He's not gonna get any of the crap that comes along with being part of the Marvel crisis. Good job, Marsala.
Yeah. But Marshala. But let me just put this up here for a second, because this is like the Wikipedia page for like Phase 5, which I think has been an abject disaster. By the way, no one's really talked about Thunderbolts for the obvious reasons, but Thunderbolts I think is like the second lowest drawing MCU film ever, next to Eternals, if I'm not mistaken. So that one was a huge flop. But remember, this whole thing started because they were building towards Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. That was what this whole thing was supposed to be about. Then he got arrested like literally a month after the release and ruined everything. Plus the movie bombed too, so it wasn't like they was doing that well anyway. And then you just look at all this mediocre crap. He had like Guardians 3, which I guess people liked, but great, that's fine.
It was okay.
They had the Marvels, which I think is actually the lowest drawing MCU film to date. That one was like, who wanted that one?
That's gonna be a John Winters. That's gonna be a John Winters film in 20 years. So
yeah, maybe they need so.
I'm curious.
Then you had what, Deadpool and Wolverine last year. That was the only film that they released the entire 2024.
And that's just because they're bringing the 20th Century Fox characters finally back. Because oh my God, it's been 20 years since you've seen Wolverine in a movie.
Yeah, I mean, and the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, even though it was made by Disney, was basically just a farewell to Fox.
Yeah.
So it had nothing to do with anything else going on, except for the Loki crap.
And then, by the way, did you guys forget that Captain America came out earlier this year? That was released in February.
I haven't been able to forget how bad it was.
So, like I said, that has been great. And then you have all of these like Disney Plus shows. No one who watches Disney Plus anymore. Like, who watches it? Like Secret Invasion. Does anyone remember that? Does anyone remember Loki? We were literally the only people who watched Echo. Like literally, we were the only ones in the entire internet sphere who watched that. Agatha all along, nobody watched that. Daredevil, your friend. I don't even remember that came out. That came out like in what, January. And then we have Ironheart.
Yeah, that's the animated one.
Yeah, like I said, barely even recall that one at all.
That stunk.
And then we're supposed to be in phase 6 now. So now phase 6 is supposed to be Fantastic Four, which is coming out, I guess, next month. And I have absolutely no interest in that movie whatsoever because I can't stand Pedro Pascal. I'm actually kind of sick and tired of him being shoved in my face at this point. So I have no urge to go see that movie, even if Vanessa Kirby's in that film. A new Spider-Man movie is supposed to come out somewhere next year. Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. That's it. That's the state of the MCU. So, do we need to just pull a plug on this thing and just be like, okay, we had a good run, but it's time?
Well, they needed to pull it at Endgame.
Comic books, it's fine.
What I've said this whole time is, you should have done that whole arc with Thanos. You introduced characters. You had all the origin stories and crap. So you end it with Thanos, then you recast everybody and tell a whole different saga. With a whole different whole different cast playing the same characters maybe, but doing a different saga, like the Phoenix Saga or, one of the other major comic book arcs. And then every 10, 15 years, you recast again and tell a different saga. So that's what they should have done. What they did was not have James Gunn continue to tell them where, the roadmap for their movies after Endgame. Because he was the one who was coming up with, this is how these things are going to connect. It wasn't Feige. Mm-hmm. They had no plan until Gunn put in a plan that says, okay, I need to know where my movies are going to fit in, so we need to actually have an outline for where this story's going. And now he's over the DCU, and I don't know that that's going to go any better, but at least I think he will have some kind of plan. Whether he can pull off anything, I don't know, because I think the superhero fatigue is getting real too.
I mean, I think it's been realized for a while, the superhero fatigue, but I mean, at this point, it's just like now the numbers are starting to back it up. So, like I said, at this point, we were kind of excited for a new Blade, but you've run out of all the goodwill that anyone had for it to the point where it's like, no one wants to see this anymore. Like, literally just give up. Like, it's over. Like, OVA, over. Any final thoughts on this one before we move on?
They should just do it as a standalone and keep it out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And they should. How hard is it to get a script? You have comic books. You literally just turn a freaking comic book into a movie. How is that hard?
In all honesty, at this point, you can just put it in ChatGPT and half-ass a script. At this point, it's probably going to be better than what you guys put out. It's like, yeah, it makes no sense. By the way, Disney is, in fact, working with artificial intelligence for a new quote-unquote partnership, which totally will not be used to, like, create, anime, action, writing, directing, stuff like that. So, yeah, they're definitely not going to replace Hollywood stars in the next 5 years. Absolutely will never happen. Here's the story that this is kind of completely off the wall and out of nowhere, but I find it somewhat hilarious just because how crazy it is. So the guy who plays John Kreese in the Cobra Kai series, Martin Kove, just randomly decided to bite his co-star in the arm during a con a couple of days ago, and apparently the only reason why he wasn't arrested because she didn't press charges. But it's like the whole concept of this entire story is just like what? Like, it almost feels like an Onion article, but it turned out it actually did happen. So he claims that he was just being funny, even though he bit the actress allegedly so hard that he nearly drew blood. So we'll get to
the what is she Chinese? I think
she's like Chinese Australian or something like that. She's definitely not Korean. In the show, she's Korean, but she's not Korean in real life. So, yeah, that's even Hollywood saying we can't tell them apart, but that's a whole other conversation. Martin Kove was forced to leave a fan convention early the weekend after he allegedly bit one of his co-stars. The 78-year-old Cobra Kai star was asked to leave SummerCon in was it Puglia?
Sure.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Washington.
Pull up. There's something Native American Washington on Sunday after his co-star in the series, Alicia Hana Kim, accused of grabbing her arm and biting her. According to the police department, Hana Kim, who is 37 years old, approached an officer in the VIP area after Kove took her arm and bit her so hard that he nearly drew blood. He reportedly let go, began kissing her arm where the bite where he had bitten her after she cried out in pain. After telling her husband about the incident, the two approached Kove at a fan event together afterwards, where he stated he exploded on them, saying to the fact that how dare they confront him. So apparently it's like trying to figure out like who's more insane at this point, this guy or Vince McMahon. I feel like Vince is still in the lead, but he's probably getting close to like the second at this point.
Crickets.
Crazy old man, 78 years old, just running around biting people.
I feel so sorry for you. Did you see the picture up? Not that one. The video picture on the top of the page. Oh,
Which
it's
one?
terrible.
Oh, this one.
This one. Look, can you
Yeah.
imagine getting bitten by this fucking cabbage face?
Yeah, no,
It's
you're
almost
definitely
as scary
getting.
as Ron Perlman biting you.
Right.
You're definitely
Oh my
getting like
goodness.
at least Hep C or something like that.
And then the
There's no-
teeth fall out.
That's probably the only reason why I didn't draw blood.
Oh my god! He's a zombie.
But no, it says here that, Hunter Kane and her husband then reportedly asked the officer to step in. According to the report, Kove then claimed that him and Hunter were play fighting on the set of Cobra Kai. He was just trying to be funny. The actress then told the reporting officer that she didn't want to press charges against him, but she wished that she had wished to have filed in the case this continues. Kove was then asked to leave the event. Fox News Digital reached out to representatives for Kove and Hunter Kim in the comment. Says Kove is obviously best known to portraying the character John Kreese in the Karate Kid franchise. Also popular in the main antagonist of the Cobra Kai series that just ended earlier this year too. So, like I said, this is just a completely oddball, off the wall story that people were like, "What? This is actually why the hell?" So everyone's now asking, "Is this guy like legitimately insane?" And the answer is, yeah, probably. Brahma, what's your take on this story?
I want to know if he was hungry 30 minutes later still.
Oh my goodness.
There's a lot of innuendo jokes to be had here when you're talking about like does he like Korean food or this whole. I'll let you guys divvy that one up in the chat here. But so who here has actually seen the last season of Cobra Kai? Because like I said, it came out like literally a couple months ago. Everyone's seen it.
I haven't seen Cobra Kai at
seen
all. I like to wait until like a show is pretty much done before I pick it up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's done now. Like, it's done.
Yeah.
But it was a show that started, like, as a YouTube project, like, for its first couple of seasons. It was on, like, YouTube Red at the time. Remember, they were trying to make that a thing. And then afterwards, it got switched over to, like, Netflix. But I guess all the original creators, like, came up with it. And, I mean, it's a pretty solid show look, it does get kind of ridiculously campy and ridiculous at a certain point at the thing. But at the same time, like the whole series in and of itself is kind of camp and ridiculous too. So it's like I think sometimes they try to play into it. Sometimes it goes a little too far. But I mean, all in all, I think it was done pretty well. The whole ending, it was just kind of like, it's basically like it had to end in a way of like an '80s action movie essentially. But
yeah, no, overall it was a good series. It was just, I enjoyed it for what it was. But it's really a series that's made for young adults and teens. So, I mean, you can't really complain about the campiness. It was supposed to be a nostalgia bait for us, but in reality, it was a teen soap opera with a bunch of fighting that made no sense. But people enjoyed it.
It was one of those shows, and to give them credit, they tried to do what I think a lot of shows try to do and fail at. This one was somewhat successful of it. It was like, how do we hook essentially older fans of the franchise and bring in younger fans at the same time? And I think this is probably the closest that one of these type of franchises has gotten to that, because a lot of it is, like I said, nostalgia and references to the old franchise of the 80s and the early 90s. So they always are bringing back characters from the original series that obviously only the older fan base would know about, but then trying to keep it kind of like a modern storytelling sense with like the younger kids too. So I think it did pretty well as far as that whole thing goes. As far as the Asian girl's character, she was brought in to be like some I guess apprentice from some like crazed like South Korean like I don't want to say sensei, but just some kind of like almost like a military like martial arts leader. And then you don't really see too much of him too, even though he's kind of more of a psychopath than anyone else in the show. So it kind of sucks that he disappeared as quickly as he did. But yeah, so these two literally worked together on the last season of the show. I don't know if he thought that biting somebody hard enough to draw blood was a funny joke to him and nobody else. It's like, yeah, I can understand being just a little bit butthurt about that.
I wonder. I wouldn't surprise me if he's got dentures or veneers or something, and if he just didn't know how much pressure he was applying. But it's still a weird thing to have been doing either way. It's like, okay, I'm standing next to you. I'm just going to grab your arm and bite you. I mean, you're in a show about karate. Why would that be your go-to? Let's make a joke play fight thing.
It's not like when you like go up to your friend and like punch him in the arm and you hit him a little too hard and it was just like, oh, I'm just messing around. It's like you're like literally biting somebody. I'm trying to understand like what part of the joke there was in there, unless there's something like Diddy level happening like behind the scenes that we don't know about. We can only assume.
Please, no. All we need.
That's another Diddy party.
Can you imagine a Diddy? Now we got Diddy parties, and now we got to get a Diddy barbecue to start biting each other. This would be terrible.
Well, I mean, like I said, people quickly forget about Armie Hammer, so I mean, we can only assume that he was part of the group.
Eating toes.
As far as we know,
Yeah.
Just like so, somebody may wanted everyone to know that no, it was too cool. The other person was totally into it, like to cannibalism. Like
No,
I don't think that makes it better, sir.
There's that one dude I think in Britain. Oh, go ahead, Eddie.
No, I was just gonna say if I'm gonna I want to give this Cobra Kai a try. And is Terry Silver in it? Just because you said it has like
Yep.
Terry Silver's in it. Chosen's in it from Karate Kid 2.
Literally the only person who doesn't come back for the series is Hilary Swank. Like everyone else comes back for it.
Well, that's because she has an Academy Award. She doesn't want to deal with people biting her all the fucking set.
Even Elizabeth Shue came back.
Yeah.
For one episode, I think. But,
you trying to tell me that after all this time that what's-her-face, Elizabeth Swank couldn't like come in and do like a Sopranos, like walk into a bar scene at the very end of like the series?
She's what, Annette Bening? She has the Annette Bening role. She just walks up to Ralph Macchio. I don't want my brother coming out with his dick in his hand.
But it's like, seriously, what are you doing right now that's so important that you can't make one of a cameo for this series? It's like, come on now.
Be great.
Yeah,
right.
Be 10 minutes.
Like, what are you doing? Were you shooting Fatale 2? It's like, come on now. You got time.
I did think that they handled the one guy that was part of the original Johnny's original group that was actually sick in real life. I thought they handled that pretty well because didn't he die at some point?
Yeah, he died
in the show and in life.
Yeah, I think like shortly after he had filmed that too. So
yeah, I thought that they handled that well. But overall, Eddie, if you like Karate Kid at all, then you'll like this. It's just a little bit more campy than Karate Kid was.
All right, that's cool.
The one thing I will say real quick before we move on, it's like the one thing I did like in the original series, which was kind of like, interesting, is that they take obviously the dynamic of, what was it, Jory Lawrence and what was the other kid's name? The Ralph Macchio's character, I can't remember for some reason.
LaRusso.
Like they take the dynamics of him, where obviously LaRusso was like the good guy, and then like Lawrence was like the dick bad guy, and then you kind of flip it a little bit to where it's like it's Lawrence's redemption story. So like LaRusso now has to be kind of like the dick bad guy, and to say that was what they did early on in the series, and it actually worked kind of well.
Yeah, worked great, and then they brought in Kreese. Go ahead.
Ralph Macchio has been 13 years old for like 45 years. Like he looks, so
he's starting to look old.
Well, he started.
Well, I mean, he's like 60 now, so I mean,
yeah.
As someone who looks young and is like hitting his 40s and such, I can tell you that guys like me who are good looking were dicks. So I can totally believe Ralph Macchio is a dick.
I will say this though, I have not seen the recent Karate Kid movie that's out in theaters. Apparently, that one has no connection to Cobra Kai whatsoever. So I guess they're just going off of the mainline film series. But they brought Jackie Chan back because he was the sensei for Will Smith's kid in that one movie no one talks about. So he's in it,
teaching kung fu in a Karate Kid movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, remember when we tried to make Jaden Smith a thing? Remember that whole situation? Those were good times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not so great, but yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, this whole story to me is just kind of like laughable in a lot of instances. So, like I said, it's basically like this guy and Vince McMahon. It's like just crazy old white dudes just going around like either biting people or pooping on people's heads. It's like no one knows what goes on behind closed doors.
The other nice thing that we got from that series, though, was the Johnny Lawrence Twitter account. If you haven't seen it, check it out because it's freaking hilarious. That first season, he was actually very, very funny. They kind of toned it down a little bit throughout the series, but in the first season, like his complete lack of knowledge about any technology was pretty funny. And about political correctness. And he was so politically incorrect. It was like, oh, I remember when times were good like this.
Yeah, so let's jump over here to this story. We've talked about the WNBA in a couple of instances here, so just in case you guys haven't really been following on what's going on in women's basketball, and let's be honest, why would you? There's this girl who plays in the WNBA now called Caitlin Clark. She's legitimately a good basketball player, and she was a star in Iowa. She came over to the WNBA. People actually start like buying tickets to the WNBA because she plays there now. So now it's like they're selling out like 20,000 seat arenas because she's there, and everyone who's not a typical WNBA fan, let's be honest, lesbian, actually likes watching it now. But they all hate her for some weird reason. Like they really just despise Caitlin Clark, even though she's literally done absolutely nothing to them. She gets hate from like black Twitter because she's white, then she gets hate from like gay Twitter because she's not gay. So they just have a real big disdain for her. Even like last week, they were like tossing her around and slamming her on the court and stuff like that. It's like, you guys understand she's your meal ticket, right? So if she were to go down for like the course of like the remainder of the season, no one's watching nor attending any of your games. Like she was down for like 2 weeks. I think like audiences like dipped like almost 60%. Because she wasn't playing. It was like, well, who wasn't playing? We'll watch the rest of these juds. But
I know it wasn't on my feed.
yeah, right. But so what happened here is that, they were doing a broadcast on ESPN, and I guess what's her name? Rebecca Lobo, is that her name? Yeah, Rebecca Lobo made kind of an off-brand comment during the WNBA, I guess, broadcast, basically saying that, that's what makes America great. And then there's like this weird, awkward silence for like a couple of seconds, and it's like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't say that, and literally apologized like on air for just making a reference to the fact that America's actually great. So I'm going to show you the video here. This is what caused the I guess, kerfuffle. People still use that, but here you go.
Yeah.
So they disagree with you. They do, and I disagree with them, and that's fine. That's what makes America great, right, Pam Ward?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Several seconds of silence.
Why are they quiet?
After he replies, "Oh my goodness!" Like I can't believe you said that.
Let's see, I'm gonna choose that count how many seconds it actually takes for to say anything.
Pam Ward?
Oh my goodness.
I should rephrase that.
That was 7 seconds of dead air.
Pretty much dead air. And she's probably getting screamed at in her ear as well.
Like, what did you just say?
Make America what? This has nothing to do with America. This is women's basketball, for Christ's sake.
I should rephrase that. Yes.
You better.
But yeah, I did think.
Opinion are perfectly
Yes,
fine.
that's a better way to say it. Sorry about that.
Yeah, how dare we?
The diversity of our opinions are our strengths.
How dare we confer that, America is great? Not for our WNBA audience who all thinks they're being hunted down by the Trump administration because they scissor or whatever they try to have sex. But it's like I don't think they truly understand just how like really unlikable the WNBA is. Like I don't think that they think that they're the heroes of this story. Meanwhile, no one likes them at any point. And then with everything going on with Caitlin Clark, it hasn't made things any better. But here's the story
Caitlin Clark
here.
thing. I mean,
Go ahead.
Most people have compared her to. I mean, they keep saying, "Well, you're just beating the crap out of your Michael Jordan," and it's like, Caitlin Clark isn't Michael Jordan. There were other star players before Michael Jordan. Caitlin Clark's more like the Tiger Woods of the WNBA. She's the only thing that might actually make money at some point. Because you remember, before Tiger went into the PGA, the wins, the amount of money that you won was hardly anything compared to what it is now since him.
Yeah.
So she is their golden goose, and they are beating the living crap out of her. And then I'm sure you saw the other story with the girl Sophia, or whatever her name is, Sophie, on her team. Rather attractive blonde chick. Yeah. Sticking up for her finally. So
finally, after like a year and
Caitlin
a
Clark's
half.
just about done with it, though, because she made a statement today, I think, saying, "Yeah, I'm pretty much over it. If they're not going to start calling the flagrant fouls and ejecting people every time I get my eye poked or just get completely clotheslined, then there's no reason to stay there." She could start her own like 3-on-3 league and probably do just fine.
She can go to like any European country and be like respected and treated well over there, and just let this, like I said, aggressive lesbian league just die, because at this point it's like, what's even the point of it? By the way, the WNBA has been around for 30 years. It has never turned a profit ever. It's never been
completely
profitable.
Subsidized by the NBA.
Yep, literally without the NBA, it would have folded in 1997. Yeah, so, and then here we are. But this was the moment that occurred during the Fever Aces game, which took place in Las Vegas, and we heard the whole thing there. And like I said, they had to further, I say, difference of opinion. And yeah, sorry about that before resuming play-by-play, because, oh no, the woman dared make the inference that America is great. It's like, no, America is terrible. Now let's get back to watching this super popular basketball game taking place in the United States. Like, right? And then somebody tried to say that, no, it made people think too much of the slogan "Make America Great Again." And it's like, well, it wasn't even remotely close to MAGA whatsoever. So for those who try to make that comparison there, it's like, you literally, Trump has broken your brain if you think that was in
but
any
I'm
way,
pretty
shape, or
sure
form.
that's exactly what she was getting in trouble for.
I think that is the case.
Of what?
That
it was too
Oh, by the way, hi Rick, because no, I didn't introduce you yet before you interjected. But how are you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, I have a new safe house, so ICE won't find me here. So I'm glad about that.
He's shaking, not stirred.
Yes, I not only have ICE to worry about, but the Iranians have also put a contract out on me. So
the only reason why you're not in Juarez right now is because there's only so many episodes of I Love Lucy that Mexico can take before they send you back.
Well, no, I mean, Ricky does speak Spanish every now and again, but no, I think I think they did want to. I think people did connect it with that "Make America Great Again." I don't think it had anything to do with, oh, we hate the U.S. No, they're thinking it's connected to some sort of political point of view, which it wasn't. I think this has all been taken so out of proportion, but people will panic, and it's just irrational.
Yeah, that was my take on it too. Is I thought it was because she got too close to saying something that sounded like MAGA, and the WNBA is not gonna let that fly. So, but I did find it funny that the whole point she was making was that she can have her own opinion. That's what makes America great, and then she was immediately not allowed to say what she said,
and then she was immediately put in her place.
Yes.
Well, that's because this isn't America. This is Disney.
Well, I don't even think that I don't think it's just the WNBA. If she had said this at an NBA game, there would have been a meltdown. Remember, the NBA doesn't have owners because that's connected to slavery.
Yep. It's almost as if basketball in general is going through a very insufferable time of wokeness, and people are just getting completely fed up with it.
Well, that's complete inability to play the game.
Mm-hmm. And LeBron James, just not going away, like ever.
You know what?
And now bringing his son on.
Now that I'm thinking about it, you remember the kid that wasn't really good at basketball? You gave him the basketball and he'd always be the one trying to shoot threes in mid-court.
Yeah.
You ever notice that that's what the game is now? It's just got kids that were given the basketball because they can't play, shooting threes in mid-court now all the time.
And
well,
just
yeah,
like
no,
in
that's
elementary school when the
Right.
refs would let you travel an extra 2 or 3 steps because you were learning the rules. So now
What is
everybody in
this?
the NBA is taking 5, 6 steps on the way to the basket.
But no, that's
God.
the influence of, Seth Curry, because Seth Curry basically made it popular to, oh yeah, let's just shoot threes from the logo now. So now every kid that's come up playing basketball the last 10 years is trying to shoot threes from the logo like Seth Curry, and now the NBA just turned into a 3-point shooting contest. Like, I don't know if you guys were watching the playoffs, but the Boston Celtics and the New York Knicks had a series. Boston literally shot, I think, like 100 threes in like one game, and they only hit 25 of them. Like that's how bad it was.
It really is elementary school.
It really is.
But it's kind of see that stat just makes me think of the other chick from the WNBA, Angel Reese, who they keep making a big deal out of how many rebounds she gets.
Yeah.
But it's because she can't make a layup, so she takes like 10 shots and rebounds 11 times or 9 times, and then finally makes that 10th shot. She gets like 10 points and 35 rebounds every game, and it's all her shots.
But you know what's hilarious about that? Apparently, there's a meme going around of Angel Reese recently where they start calling them her me-bounds because she's basically rebounding her own misses, and then she got butthurt about it and made like a whole like Instagram meltdown regarding those things. Like, I don't know, maybe start making her shots so people stop making fun of you.
They took down those
busy,
guys.
She's too busy at McDonald's. Does she still have that Angel Reese special at McDonald's?
They probably do.
I think so.
Somewhere, maybe.
Isn't it just
Let
a
me
Big
double
Mac
check.
deal? But then she also took down those guys on X that used to bet on her first shot. They used to throw down bets. Her first shot, if it's going to go in or not. Every single time they would bet it would be a brick. Every single time they won, they made like hundreds of thousands of dollars on it because they did it on FanDuel or whatever.
Oh yeah, like her
down.
Literally, like they're putting money on like if her first shot's gonna be a brick, and they just keep making money.
Oh my God!
game.
Yes.
If she were sensible, that would have motivated her to improve her game. But apparently, she's so thin-skinned that she'd rather go after people who criticize her than to improve. They're just sad.
Exactly.
And beat the crap out of Caitlin Clark every time she plays her just because Caitlin's actually good.
Can we say that 2025 is crazy on this idea? The athlete, the jock, is the whiny, incessant one, right? And the fat girl, Lizzo, actually took the criticism to heart and started losing weight.
Yeah. But otherwise,
what Ozempic can do.
Meanwhile, the walking brick merchant over there is just going to double down on Twitter.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Just like all those kids in those 80s movies, those jocks, lousy jocks.
Like when you watch like Angel Reese like play basketball, it's literally like me when I used to play basketball in elementary school. I'm standing right under the rim, trying to like shoot it up there, and still missing. And that's what she does.
And then getting your own rebound and shooting it again, and then going to the other side of the basket, shooting it, going to the other side. It's ridiculous. And she's one of the most talented players in the league.
Allegedly.
How'd you get the ball stuck in the net if it went inside out?
But no, this is the clown show of women's basketball now. They're like I said, for a while it's just been basically like a bricklaying lesbians club, and now with Caitlin Clark coming in and bringing in like normies, like normal people to watch them, they don't like it because it's not their thing anymore. So they've just been going to war with her fan base and just like essentially normal fans who would actually want to watch their sport. They've been going to war with them now. So it's like, you ungrateful SOBs, like you don't realize that you're about 5 minutes away from literally ruining anything. Exactly. And then even like Angel Reese going out there trying to be like, no, people are watching because of me too. It's like, no, they're not. Ratings pretty much prove that no one's going to watch you.
And in fact, the chick who stuck up for Caitlin, Sophie, or Sophia, I still don't know her name, but
Cunningham.
That night her jersey sold out completely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all it took to become the second biggest star in the league, was just standing up for the biggest star in the league for one second.
Yeah.
Well, the last year last time we were talking about it, we were saying, you know, we hope that this year it's going to be Caitlin Clark actually standing up for herself and taking some of those big jokic type of hits on people, you know, where he just body slams the hell out of people.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see Angel Reese do. That's what I want to see your teammates do. We're still the only ones, I believe, on the internet that talked about it. So Caitlin and the rest of the Indiana Fever, thank you for listening to the show.
Yes.
We are absolutely correct in saying that you all should have started getting in there and started bustling around and everything. I want to see some suplexes next time. I want to see a couple of rear naked chokes. We need to actually start like establishing a dominance here if we're really going to make the WNBA the type of premier league that it should be.
Here's what you guys need to do. You need to spend the next 3 months training with Bill DeMott. Now, I know he's not doing much right now, but I'm pretty sure.
If anything, the bullying will be fucking fantastic for your psyche.
Yeah, it really builds character. Any thoughts about this? One for moving to our next topic here.
When are we going to a WNBA game? We should all go and broadcast live.
You're feel free to go anytime you want. I think like Dallas is the closest one to you, so
well,
go
no.
up that drive.
Is there one in Arizona?
Yeah,
I think that one might actually be closer.
That's actually kind of sad.
I say we plan it and we actually make it a Fever versus whatever Angel Reese is on game.
But did you guys? Okay, now I have to remind you. Did you guys see? It was like some kind of like influencer several years ago. This is before the WNBA got popular. He bought courtside seats to a WNBA game, and he brought like a pillow and a blanket with him, and just fell asleep. And then courtside during the game, and then they kicked him out. Like, they kicked him out of the game.
That's exactly what I would do.
Well, no, I mean it'd be great because aren't the suites like $20?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, did you
seems
report
a bit
that
high.
once that the suites were like $20?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one in Los Angeles. This was years ago, by the way. In LA, because I think that's where the Sparks play. You can buy literally a box suite for the LA Sparks for $20. No, you get to be in the suite at the Staples Center in Los Angeles where the Lakers play. The problem is the Sparks are playing, so you have to kind of weigh whether it's worth it at that point.
You try to change the channel on the TV inside the room. Just, come on, look at something else.
If you're trying to watch real sports on the television, right. They're yelling at the guys down there like, "Hey, shut up!
We're trying to watch TV up here, girls."
Mm-hmm. Oh, I gotta play this real quick because this is just absolutely hilarious. Yeah, let me see if I can get it out for a second. Yeah, like I said, this is, I don't know the exact guy's name, but I think it's like Dejan or whatever his name is. But yeah, he tried to do that at a WNBA game, and they straight up kicked him out.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, let me pull this up real quick.
That is something I would do.
Mm-hmm. You just
there wasn't much that was good about Lady Ballers, but they did kind of get it right about how the fans are for the women's basketball.
Yeah. He's just got a pillow. But by the way, not only did he buy a courtside seat, he bought like the 3 courtside seats next to him just so he could lay down during the game.
Across them.
He needs a little nightcap to go along with this.
Yep.
Those are kind of loud.
Those are kind of loud.
Yeah, they were very, very upset by this because
yay, he got a little nightcap.
They were very, very upset by this because he was being disrespectful to the game.
Well, I mean, if the girls are close enough that he starts going, of course it's gonna be terrible.
He needs a little teddy bear. He needs to get that girl's teddy bear.
I asked you not to do this.
Please don't do this.
The game's almost over.
The game's almost over, and I'm trying to get some naps.
You're leaving. Here's your warning. The game's over.
If he lays back down, he's had his warning. He needs to leave.
My sleep apnea.
Why?
Oh God! Now he's getting all the other people to snitch.
Boo!
You gotta figure it out.
Can't believe it. Exactly.
The easy way or the hard way?
I like how the people next to him are laughing, but the security is trying to take this super seriously.
Meanwhile, not a single point has been scored this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. He's actually had the last sleep apnea. He's actually sleepwalking right now.
End of the third quarter with the score 15-3.
Right.
Was that the actual score? Oh my gosh.
It might as well.
The fact that Rick could believe it.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't even hesitate to believe whether it was real or not.
High school game.
Oh, I guess real quick here, I guess this is an update to a story we just talked about like 20 minutes ago, but Martin Crowe has in fact apologized for biting his co-star.
Breaking news. We need a Fox News graphic. We need
I don't know
Fox
how we
News
didn't get a picture of the bite mark.
Yeah, apparently this wasn't on video either. I was like, I would have loved to see the actual interaction between here, but it says, I deeply regret and apologize for my actions regarding the incident with Alicia, a kind and wonderful person who didn't deserve to be put in this position, he said in the statement. I've always respected her and considered her a highly professional and talented co-worker in Cobra Kai. I was being playful in the moment, but went too far. There's absolutely no excuse for my behavior. I regret my decisions to take full responsibility for what I did, and I again apologize to her and her husband. I'm committed to learning from this, but it will never happen again. It's like, how do you learn from biting someone?
At 78 years old,
I need to learn not to bite people.
Yeah.
At 78 years old, I've got to learn this. It's a lesson that I didn't get through the rest of my life. You don't bite people.
I don't know why, but I heard the whole thing like he really was a zombie. I'm so sorry, I bit her. I really didn't mean to. It's just really overcoming of me, you know.
Like, I was trying to get some adrenochrome and feel like she was too old, and then I don't think fair.
I wanted just a little snack on her brains, but you know.
So yeah, there you go. Don't bite women, especially the Chinese women. They know karate, so it's probably not a good idea.
Her name is
Just
Alicia
don't bite
Hannah
people.
Kim.
Yeah,
I think this transcends all ethnicities. Just don't bite people.
Especially women with 3 first names.
Mm-hmm. Especially, yeah, it's not a good time. It's just not a good time.
Alicia Hannah Kim.
I know how you trust her less now that she knows she has 3 names.
Right, I totally do. It's like All
right. Well, let's jump over to this story.
It's like dual citizenship. You can't. It doesn't work. It doesn't mix.
This story has been a wonderful roller coaster of a ride. It has happened in just a matter of a few weeks. So I know, Bromby, you weren't here initially, but there was a story.
Though.
So this is the story. It all started on Celebrity Big Brother earlier this year, where Mickey Rourke was there for like 3 days before he got kicked off, and he made a comment about, being in the house with her for 3 days, you won't be a lesbian anymore. And they was like, oh yeah, I guarantee you that I'll still be a lesbian. She fell in love with another boy, was immediately not a lesbian like 3 days later. So
she also got pissed off with him for making a reference that is a slur, but it's these.
Oh yeah,
Britain.
The British cigarettes.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Uh-huh.
So the follow up to this story is that she's now dating. First of all, she had a quote unquote a girlfriend before she went on this show. That relationship ended very quickly. Now she's running around with a boy, and now not only she's running around with a boy, she's now telling everyone. Honestly, I felt pressured about being a lesbian. I didn't really want to be gay. It turns out. So this girl, like I said, she was a Nickelodeon star like a handful of years ago. I guess she had some kind of big following there, and then she tried to do like the Miley Cyrus kind of like shock thing, and that did not work out at all for her at all. Right. And I guess at this point of the con, it's like you're not going to be Miley, so there's really no point of like continuing it. So just give up and go back to being straight. So this is what she says here. Nickelodeon star was no longer performing at the Chicago Pride Festival, which I guess took place either like this coming week or like last week. But the news came after Siwa said that it came out that she said that she came out as a lesbian at 19 years old, due in part to pressure from the LGBTQ community. Backlot Bash, which I guess is the music fest for the Pride Parade in Chicago, said that she pulled out over a scheduling conflict. So it's not because she doesn't want to be around the gays anymore. It was totally a scheduling conflict. That's like Hollywood PR 101, because it's like, oh no, it turns out there's somewhere else I need to be at the exact same time. Like where? It's like, I'll let you guys know later. It's like, got some news that breaks my heart. My U.S. tour has been postponed. I promise I'll be back to perform to all you beautiful people in the United States. I didn't even know she had a U.S. tour, but like I said, I don't even know who really is a fan of her these days. But after, finding penis again, she now identifies as a pansexual, so she's no longer a lesbian. She says, but she kind of felt boxed in, saying that I'm a lesbian and that her girlfriend, quote unquote, was non-binary. And then I kind of feel bad for the non-binary chick, because I mean she's kind of like not that greatly attractive. Somebody needs to find her a dude and turn her too, so they can both live happy lives and not have to do what they were doing before. Axel says she thought she felt pressure from coming out, and the Big Brother contestant says in a weird way, I think it came a little bit from inside the LGBTQ community at times, like from people I know, from partners I had. It just gets through this world where you feel like, oh, you said that I'm a lesbian, you have to be a lesbian. And the truth is, sexuality is fluid. It's like, is it though? Because it seems like you fluided your way right back to where you started from in the whole situation. So
he's hating water in that picture.
Yeah, right. There's so many innuendos like I can use for this. I gotta behave just a little bit, but yeah. So she's, like I said, literally 3 months ago, she was like this card-carrying member of the LGBTQ. Then she dumped her non-binary girlfriend. She's now dating boys, and now she's like, yeah, you know what? I don't think that whole LGBTQ thing was good for me. You guys kind of pressured me into stuff that I didn't want to do. So now, like literally in like 2 months, she'll probably be on like Ben Shapiro's show. I'm calling it now. Like this is where this whole thing is going.
Turns out you can cure it just by meeting the right dick.
Yeah, right. No, we played the Ryan Long bit here too, which is later. I might play it again later. But Brahman, what's your take on this whole story coming full circle with JoJo finding her normalness? I guess that's a word, right?
Her normalness. No, I mean, I think that's why almost all girls now are identifying as bi, because they want the love and adoration of the LGBTQ community, but we all know they really just want guys.
Yeah. I know that there's a lot of people. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be really real about it. There's a lot of women out there who claim that they're bisexual while they're married to men, and exactly. It's all to essentially feel like, oh, see, I'm a part of this community too because I like girls. It's like you're married to a dude. It's like, oh, but I'm still queer, or whatever that means. That ever-changing definition of queer. Because I'll tell you this much: queer definitely meant something completely different 30 years ago than what it means now.
No, it meant the same thing. It just had a little different connotation.
Mm-hmm. There was harder letters that were attached to the front end of that one.
Yeah.
Rick, what's your take on the odyssey of Jojo Siwa here?
Well, first, I have absolutely no idea who this person is. So
I mean, that's not objectively true. We talked about her a number of times on this show, so you at least know who she is in reference.
I know who she is, but I don't think I've ever heard any of her music. I've never seen any of her shows. I only know her from this. Does
she even do music?
She's not the Indigo Girls, is what you're saying.
The Indigo Girls. Now they're lesbians.
For now,
I think that this is a case of maybe she just wanted, I don't know, I can't read her mind. Maybe she wanted some notoriety, publicity, to be seen as an ally and say, hey, I'm a lesbian. And now she's discovered that she's not a lesbian. I don't know. I'm just puzzled by people who just decide. I don't know. It sounds strange to say that she decided. If she felt pressure, she should have said, you know what? I like guys, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm just going to find a guy. You guys, you lesbians and you gay men, you go ahead, you get married. I'll dance at your ceremony. I'll do a Liza type thing. But I like guys, and I'll just go out with guys. I don't have to say I'm a lesbian to make you happy. That's the part that I'm puzzled by. Well, there's a lot of parts that I'm puzzled by all of this. But one thing is like, why did she think that she felt pressure to say I'm a lesbian when I'm not a lesbian? She didn't have to say it. She could have just said, "Hey, I'm an ally," and just leave it at that. Nobody would have cared. Nobody would have cared who she was stripping. It's just puzzling to me.
So you're saying that she wasn't born this way? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if she was. I'm assuming she was born, but I
mean,
don't
look,
know how she was born.
We've all been victims of peer pressure at some point of our lives. Never to that degree. Like I think there's a line to peer pressure where it's like,
Right.
When the bully hits the boat, I assume.
It's true. I've never been peer pressured to sleep with another man, so that's a plus.
No, you did it completely of your own volition.
Yeah, there's no pressure whatsoever.
It was a dark and stormy night. Okay,
sure.
That's how Clockwork Orange started.
This also teaches us that once again, maybe being a child actor, child star at Nickelodeon is not a good thing for your mental health.
Hey, maybe she's one of the lucky ones because she's breaking out of her cage early. You know, maybe she didn't go full Amanda Bynes, so you could say that maybe that's a good thing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Good job, girl. I'm glad you're finally glad you broke through the matrix.
I mean, she's only 23 years old, somewhere around there. She's still got plenty of time to come around.
And she has that, she has to just lose. I mean, this dude is gonna make her he's gonna pound the 20 pounds out of her. And she's going to look pretty decent in about a year or two. Good for her. I'm glad for her. She's happy. I'm happy that she's happy. I'm glad that women get to have what they want. It's good that women get to have whatever they want whenever they want it. And, good for them. I'm glad this dude came about. Let's all thank Mickey Rourke, by the way, for convincing this girl that, all she needed was a real man in her life to change it. And that was Mickey. The minute Mickey brought that shit up, snapped.
Mickey Rourke, of all people, was the powder keg that started this whole downfall.
Right.
The thing is now that any person that's going to say, I'm a lesbian, they're going to point to Jojo Siwa and say, all you need is just a man, a good man. You haven't found the right man to either convert you or to prove to you that you really are straight. So Jojo Siwa has actually ended up doing worse for, she's not an ally now because she's now proof, quote unquote, that you can convert someone if you just find the right man or the right
flip back and forth for a woman.
Yeah.
If you just give girls a little bit of DNA, they'll follow you wherever you want to go and do whatever you want them to do. A little DNA. Dick and attention.
Sometimes more the A than the D, but that's a whole other conversation.
I pack a quarter nickel myself,
This is a good one from Ryan Long.
Easier to flip back and forth for a woman, right? Like a girl can come back, made out with a friend, crazy night. If a guy comes back from a work party, he's sucked off Craig, you know what I mean? You just became a different dude, you know what I mean? You can't go to the engineer Christmas party and come back Doug tuned me the fuck up last night. That guy did some damage. Even it's a birthday present, sometimes girls will be like, oh, I'm gonna make out with a girl because it'd be hot, right? But you think you'd like that if he goes, you came home and he's like, happy birthday. Just want to do something for you, you'd be like, what? I thought you wanted it. It's not the same. That's why even the threesomes, right? When a two girl guy threesome, that's why it's more acceptable. It's not. You know what the difference between the two threesomes is? A girl guy threesome is kind of there's a hockey player and then there's two goalies and he still scores. You know what I mean? Whereas a guy girl threesome is there's two hockey players and then they go to a bar and fuck some drunk chick and never call her again. And go back home to their girlfriends. And that's the difference. So that's why it's not as big of a deal for Jojo Siwa to be, she's not a lesbian anymore. Guys don't care if a girl's like, I'm not a lesbian anymore. We're like, whatever, you barely were anyway, you know what I mean? When a guy's like, I'm not gay anymore, we go, yeah, you are. You know, we treat a girl coming back from being a lesbian like a girl coming back from being Christian, where she's like, I'm not Christian anymore. You're like, you probably just went to church because your parents wanted you to. There was some social reasons. We treat a guy coming back from being gay like a guy from coming back from joining ISIS. You better have a really good explanation. If you come back to a job interview and it's like, oh, it says on your resume you were in ISIS for 9 years.
And, you know.
Yeah, I got really in tune with the Groypers, and then one thing led to another. And, next thing you know,
Carol was in my room.
Next thing you know, I was in a furry suit, and it was just things got crazy.
It's like, yeah, I just got tired of all the hairy men. I don't know what to tell you. I no longer want to get on my knees 5 times a day, and that's why it's different.
Well, that's interesting because I think there's always been an allure to lesbians. It's like
Please explain.
Well, what was that movie Bound? A lot of women seem to enjoy seeing 2 women indulge.
Why is Bound like your go-to lesbian,
because I don't know it. I don't know that many lesbian movies. Okay.
I think Wild Things did a lot more.
That or Thelma and Louise.
I don't know if that's a tech. I've never seen Thelma and Louise, so I don't know. But
fried green tomato.
When it comes to women, it just seems more titillating and exciting for men and also for women. When it comes to 2 men, for some reason, it's not the same. They don't find it as exciting. I guess maybe seeing hairy men go at each other. I don't know.
Dudes don't like to. Rick, it's because dudes don't like to see other dudes do it.
Exactly. And
straight dudes do not like seeing other dudes doing it.
Right. That's just because men. Right, but that's just because men in general are just ugly. So it's like 2 dogs doing it. If they're both dudes, it's like, why is this going on? You know, again, it's like a porno, right? A gay porno. It's just 2 guys.
It's interesting that I don't know if this is true, but I understand that the largest consumers of gay male on male pornography are women, and I don't understand that. I don't know if that is true. It just seems strange.
Well, that's because the Japanese are very strange people.
It's their fault.
It is. It really is. It's all that shipping.
There's always been some sort of eroticism to women involved with other women, especially for men. Not so much.
You think anime?
You think lesbians would stop thinking about dick eventually?
You think anime is God's judgment on the Japanese for World War II?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, sit back and think about that one for a while.
Well, I mean, we're all, I don't know everybody's age here, but we're all kind of in the same age range, I would think. You remember Wild Things when it came out?
Oh, yeah, the Denise Richards
and Nev Campbell scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. That pool scene.
That was talked about a lot.
And think about this. It's like in that film, they did a lot to dress Nev Campbell down because she could have been far more attractive than she was in that film.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. See, that's what's missing nowadays. It's just we don't have that kind of sexiness, and that's why it's abrasive now.
No. You know? I mean, what you want to see like a lesbian scene with like Rachel Zegler and like that boot face chick from The Last of Us 2.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
No one wants to see that.
Watch 2 aliens making out with each other.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a good way to turn people off permanently. Just put freaking whatever that chick's name is in anything, and then people will no longer want to watch anything at all.
You talking about the potato from Last of Us?
Yeah, whatever her name is. The clearly autistic potato who's also non-binary because she was probably pressured in when she was 20 as well. It's almost as if there's a trend here with these actresses.
Hollywood.
Yep. Well, any last thoughts about this one before we move on here?
I think we hit that one pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, apparently people liked going back and watching our retrospective on 2002, so I want to spend a little bit of time doing this here. I know, Brahma, you have to head out in a bit too, so you want to stick around with us for a little bit here, or do you want to get out a little bit early for your...
I can hang out for a bit.
All right, so I think when we were last on this whole thing, okay, so let me kind of refresh here just in case people are going into this completely blind. Last week we started watching the 2002 Video Music Awards, right? To kind of go back and reference. Jimmy Fallon was the host of this show. We had a debate about whether Jimmy Fallon was actually funny or not. I don't know what the general consensus was after last week's show. Serviceable, I think we can call
Not
it. Jimmy
anymore.
Fallon.
Not anymore.
Yeah, I think serviceable works. I think he was. I've always thought he was too eager to please. He was not funny on Saturday Night Live because he would always crack up. He didn't have any big characters or any like major role except just cracking up during a sketch.
That was exactly it. Your whole job on SNL was not to be laughing at the skit that you're in, and that's all he did, all the time. Yeah. I've never liked the dude. He damn near ruined the Christopher Walken More Cowbell skit just by being there. And that was one of the greatest skits ever.
Just by
he cracks up over and over and over.
He had suck osmosis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then this is before everyone realized he had like a massive drinking problem too. So it was kind of before those days. So happier times. We got to see Britney Spears before she became a nutcase, so there was that. Michael Jackson.
She was presenting the Artist of the Millennium Award.
She was actually just presenting Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson then came on and created an award that didn't exist, and then they didn't turn it into a real award until after he died.
A tremendous job. Yes. And he came out in his SS uniform too. It was great.
Yep. Pink was there. She looked like a goth person, so there was a lot of goth stuff happening in the course of the show.
She's just like
a I remember Ja Rule was performing with, was it Ashanti?
Ja Rule was there. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Remember when those two were a thing?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yes.
Anyone?
I do.
Yeah.
Brittany Murphy.
Howard Stern doing a countdown till they turned 18.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I remember that more.
I also remember Howard Stern coming into one of these as Buttman from the rafters.
I remember the countdown for Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you were going to Mexico, you probably can squeeze through those legal laws too. Because remember, she was down there for a little bit of time. Totally did nothing inconspicuous whatsoever as a 17-year-old in Mexico, especially during spring break.
With Matthew Perry.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything was fine. There was nothing going on behind closed doors that led to her mental downfall whatsoever. So, and then at some point we got to Shakira, and then I think that's where we stopped because that was all as much we can take. So I guess we can catch up back here from where we were before. I guess at this point they're making an American Idol reference because this was literally the first season of American Idol, so it was kind of a fresh meme at that point. And then obviously it's just been on ever since. So. Look.
Wow, it's what's his face? His guy. Man, who could forget her tits?
I just want to say this just real quick. Not even for MTV would this dude put on a proper shirt. Like this is like something I would wear to like pick up my laundry downstairs.
Hey, if you got a signature look, go for it.
Absolutely.
Well, this is also when his face somewhat looked normal. Have you guys seen him lately?
Oh yeah.
He's merging in the cat
Crease face.
Mm-hmm. He looks like Crease.
MTV, yeah.
Back when Jacob was in the American Idol crew.
Yeah, right.
2 words. Phenomenal. You know, the MTV Awards have come a long way. Great song selection. I see potential. In fact, I project big things for this show.
I'm not even sure.
I predict a white party later on tonight.
Simon?
You think this is a good show?
This is
I guess they're parodying themselves.
The show is
that they're parroting American Idol. Get it? Because it was a meme.
Right. Come on, dog.
I'm going home.
I hope on
Thank
the plane
you.
back to England. All right, I'll tell you what. While Randy and I yanked
He really doesn't. But this is the thing is, he actually really doesn't want to be there.
I'll
Yeah.
let you guys look at the nominees for best.
Turns out he really doesn't like these people.
Right. No, not at all.
New Moon Man Juicer may or may not consistently make
He's
fresh
like, I'm
juice.
not making
Enjoy
millions of
consistent
dollars
fresh
standing
juice.
here.
Moon
We
Man
need to
Juicer
leave.
should only be used with fresh produce. Moon Man Juicer is
By the way, before we get started here, just a reference to last week, because this absolutely killed us. They were doing the thing for Best Rap Video, and you know how they presented the award for Best Rap Video? They literally used a low jack, where they put, like, remember those old car low jacks so you can't steal
The club.
They put the club on it.
Presented
Nice.
Best Rap Video, and it was like, oh shit, they got away with that in 2002. It was a great time.
And then the first song was DMX.
Ooh, okay, let's see who was new back then.
Ashani.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good jam.
I like that song.
B2K,
Ooh.
I remember this song from watching The New Guy.
These were Diddy's kids.
John Mayer.
Oh no! No! Get that thing off of my screen, John Mayer.
Eddie, you should mark it. You should trademark that idea right now, like an animated series called Diddy's Kids.
Oh shit, Diddy's kids.
like a Bebe Kids spinoff of a Diddy.
Avril Lavigne, Complicated.
Boy, he was new.
In 2002.
And yes, I just want to say you're not the only person to have declared my body a wonderland.
2002 heroin song.
What movie
Remember
did they
this
use
on
this song on?
WWF? They used it on a WWF
Here to
video though,
announce
like
the
a
winner of the
retrospective. It
year's
was
Best
awesome.
New Artist Award.
Well, that was when they used hard
Who
rock a
very
lot
well be
too.
nominated in this category next year.
Now they just use like a Megan Thee Stallion.
Give it up for Kelly Clarkson and Justin Guarini.
Maybe Martin Kove was just pretending to be Simon Cowell.
Oh my God! It's the guy with the afro.
I will say I was forced to watch from Justin.
Oh no, it's Kelly Clarkson and the one that didn't become famous.
Yeah.
Actually, well, he did do a good run on Broadway, so.
Like I said, the one that didn't become famous.
They made sure to cut that afro off.
Avril Lavigne.
Afro.
I will say
Why
that
in the world is my life so pathetic?
from Justin to Kelly is a true abomination.
Absolutely terrible.
I forgot that movie even existed until you just mentioned it.
Please, I think
Dude,
you should.
all right,
This is
that's enough, honey.
My dreams are coming true.
I think Avril was only like 17 during this show. And it's very funny how no one made any sexually charged jokes about her. So apparently people want to bang the Olsen twins more than they want to bang her.
Well, dude, she's like the Lana Del Rey of like 2002.
Just letting me do my thing.
Like everyone's paying attention to Taylor
I
Swift.
want to thank everybody at Air
There's Britney with her Nazi hat on.
Mommy domination.
Management,
What was
Tammy
that?
Bryce,
Now show
Michael.
Chad Kroger in the audience,
I want to thank
staring.
MTV, all the support, everybody, much music.
Licking his lips.
Yeah. Doing the.
And
Soon.
All right, honey, you can calm down with that.
Get it? Because she's punk.
I get it. You're Canadian. You need to scream it out sometimes, but you know.
Awards return. Eminem.
There we go. That's a wrong
That's
icon.
Eminem?
David Lee Roth.
Hey, there's
and
a old
Justin
fart.
Timberlake
Yeah.
solo for the first
Oh, and
time
this guy
anywhere.
too. Remember him?
Remember when Justin Timberlake thought he was Michael Jackson for a couple of months?
And then Michael Jackson showed up and said, "I'm the king of the millennium."
Ladies and gentlemen, Sammy Hagar and David Lee Roth. Ladies and gentlemen, David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar.
See, the
I'm
joke
more of a
is that
David Lee
because
Roth
they both
guy
do stuff
than
willing.
a Sammy Hagar guy.
One of these guys is dead, right?
No.
They're both alive.
No, they're both alive.
Really?
Well, you know, they also
Sammy
did
had
have they had a third Van Halen singer, but he flopped.
He was in Extreme.
He was in Extreme, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That helps.
All the people here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no, I'm more David Lee Roth.
I'm more Gary Sharon.
They're here to see the front bumper of
That's who it
American
was, yeah.
popular culture as it is happening, baby. I didn't quite understand that, but I think it's
Yeah, I gotta give my props to. I gotta give my props to.
shows, Dave. It's really good to see you. Where you been all summer? I've been
Not Sammy, Dave. I gave him props to Dave because he's a hometown hero around here.
Okay, nominees for the best
To the house 30 miles
Take
away
a
from me.
look.
I just hated Van Halen in general.
Not a fan of Running with the Devil.
No.
Panama's great. I love Panama.
Ah, yeah, that is.
Jimmy Eat World.
Jimmy Eat World. This is a great song though.
The song for like every like 90s, 2000 like movie trailer ever.
Right. This is every part. This is every the time they're about to jump into the swimming pool scene.
Yep.
Sacrifice.
All right, now this
My
is a WWE.
sacrifice.
That was actually a WWE thing. All right. Pause it for a
Great.
second.
I love Linkin Park.
I kid you not. I was working at a Six Flags. We have a Six Flags in my town.
Yeah.
And they used to play this song all the time, like every 20 minutes, because it was on a loop, right? So me and my friends who were working, we'd all like walk down the park, just like busting out singing this song as it comes on, just like openly, like a cappella karaoke kind of thing, in the middle of the park and all in front of everybody, just because we're so fucking inundated with this song. I hate this song.
Not only that, but it's like I mentioned this before here too. Like Linkin Park, none of their music really holds up when you realize that it all basically just sounds like suicide music. And then the lead singer did in fact kill himself.
I listened. That's what I was thinking. I went to their concert. And I have not killed myself. I object.
It's like you're literally listening to somebody's suicide note like years before he did it.
while you're on the tilt-a-whirl in my fucking scenario. You're going up and down the fucking tilt-a-whirl. It starts with oh shit.
Stop. I've even seen their tribute band.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he was one step closer to the edge before he broke.
See, that was my first meme.
Korn, here to stay.
That's like fourth album.
Yeah. And this was around the time where like nu metal was basically like falling off.
Yeah.
Like it pretty much peaked with like Limp Bizkit in 2001. Then it was like all downhill from there.
Then we went into post grunge.
Yeah.
If this were done today, this would be like is Satan versus God because POD versus System of a Down.
Oh yeah, right.
And the winner.
I had every one of those albums though.
Video of 2002. Together, Sam.
None of these guys have heard of these bands.
Yeah, there we go. That's right. Good choice.
That's right.
Good choice.
Yes.
Rick is
proving in the end it didn't really matter.
You know what? Apparently no one likes the type of music that I listen to. I like Linkin Park. I like Dave Matthews Band, but apparently I'm wrong.
Maybe the depression was just crawling in his skin, Rick.
I was fine with Linkin Park. I didn't like him until later. But Dave Matthews Band, no, I can't get on with that. On board with that.
I listen to the Dave Matthews Band station on Sirius XM now more. I've listened to it more.
I think it was Cider that said last week that Chester looks like John Podesta's son.
For him to say, guys, let me,
yeah.
Do this video, and he pulled it off. So, the man.
There's a lot of things that are questionable about Rick.
Yeah. Wow. I like all kinds of music. I mean, I go from Dave Matthews to Linkin Park to Enya. So I run the entire gamut.
Well, you just like to cry in your music, don't you?
You know how like, in high school there was this guy who graduated before he got there.
Well, that's probably true because I do listen to a lot of Morrissey
got great
and the
stories
Smiths.
about him. He just wish he could have been there when he was.
Being of Mexican descent,
seemed so
I'm
cool.
required to
That's
listen
exactly
to
how
Morrissey.
I feel about this next guy.
It's
Ladies
part
and
of the
gentlemen, the
culture.
star of the biggest comedy of the year, Austin Powers and Gold.
The way they did Jimmy Fallon's makeup makes him look like Pee Wee Herman. Like he's way too white, and then he's got the blush all over his cheeks.
CIA asset Mike Myers.
Actually,
The Love Guru must not have come out yet.
No, that was years before that.
Yeah.
We do.
I think this is before Austin Powers 3, so it's like he still had some relevancy here.
I like big butts, and I
I remember back in the day, you could just say a rap song out loud, and it was
Yeah, this is definitely before Kanye West broke him. I think that was like the end of his career.
The CIA is running completely fucking working on him. They're working good. We're working double time with him right now.
Oh yeah.
When a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung.
What? You got sprung?
Thank you.
No, you get feelings.
Thank you very much.
Oh, feeling.
Thank you.
Nothing more than
Thank
feeling.
you, Mosh Pit. Thank you, Mosh Pit.
Mosh
And now,
pits?
ladies and gentlemen,
20-year-old girl mosh pit?
That's a
another
mosh pit?
M&M. Please welcome Eminem.
Oh, Eminem. Okay, good.
Yay.
Should took his time about it.
This was before he won the Oscar.
Was that the same year or the year before? Oh, that was the year after. Okay, right.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was the year after this.
America!
I mean, look, at 2002, Eminem was like the biggest thing in the entire world. If you recall, it was like 2002, he went to TRL, and so many people showed up on Broadway Street in New York, they shut the entire street down due to safety concerns.
I like how this is like the perfect conglomeration of just a bunch of white guys. Like a union had to give this job away.
And he's the rebel, remember?
Yeah.
Right. Is that Joe? That was actually Joe Biden.
One of those guys look like Joe Biden.
JD Vance in the back.
Like, if somebody told that dude if he lives another 20 years, he'll have like the greatest job.
White America.
I can actually say I've never heard this song before.
Me neither.
This is a good song, actually.
Yeah, it's not one of it. It wasn't one of his like marquee hits, but
yeah, it's a sleeper. This is a Shady. I think this is a Shady show.
No, the Eminem show.
Eminem show.
Yeah.
Was this before he did not come out in the interview?
Yeah, he totally did not admit in that movie that he was gay.
It was a joke.
That was a joke, people. It was totally a joke.
I've seen the Weird Al interview.
That was a pretty quick costume change.
Yeah. So this is the song he doesn't perform anymore because apparently before his mom died, I guess he felt bad about trashing his mom for so many years, so now he doesn't like performing the song anymore.
I'm sorry, Mama.
Yeah, Encore was that weird one that he came out in like 2004, 2005, where he did that George Bush protest song, and that was like the only song off that album.
I'm sorry, Mama. This is another meme. We used to do this all the time. I'm sorry, Mama. In my closet. I'm sorry, Mama.
I still find it absolutely hilarious that Eminem's image is that he was like a hardcore badass, where he's like 5'7", 150 pounds.
He cries about his mom.
Yeah, his mom and his wife.
That's right.
Oh, he's my height. I'm surprised.
Come on, dude. Ooh, they cut it out.
Look at Haley.
So this guy's in the Hall of Fame.
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
He's in the Rock
I
and Roll
don't
Hall of
know.
Fame.
I mean, why is he even in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? He's not rock
Why
and
are
roll.
half of the people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Just call it the General Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Look, I know that it bothers our friend Christian Odo so much. The Monkees are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but Eminem is. He's still very miffed about that.
But then back in track is skipping.
Well, I mean, they got Dolly Parton now.
He does look a little bit like Justin Bieber in this. I'm not gonna lie.
Coming up.
Well, that was it, huh? He's not gonna do the other one without me. The actual.
Hey, speaking of Diddy parties.
Yep. And the man who invented the remix.
Hey!
MTV Video Music Awards continue.
Take that, Playboy.
Yeah, he's not Usher. You can keep
Ladies
that
and gentlemen, please welcome Carson Daly.
Ah, remember Carson Daly?
Wow.
Okay, has anyone seen Carson Daly recently? Like, I know he had a rough patch of things, but he basically looks like a Vermont senator now. Like, you haven't seen him in 4
He looks like someone who would represent cider in Congress.
Yeah. Literally, he was the guy on MTV who was like banging Jennifer Love Hewitt and what's her name, Tara Reid, and then at one point he just said, "I'm just gonna go do a late night show on NBC no one watches and go away for a while," and then that's basically where he's been.
Otherwise, he would have ended up hosting Wheel of Fortune.
Time we heard from three Atlanta girls who gave the world a whole new groove. They were slick, sassy, and fun. By the time they
This was the year. Yeah, this is the year after Left Eye died.
With hip hop breaks and deep soul grooves, TLC were the street.
And you go back to the circumstances of that crash. It was like her and like 5 other girls in like a SUV. They slid off the road, and I think only one of them were actually wearing a seatbelt. And probably if they all had been wearing a seatbelt, they probably would have lived. But
that sort of
she was on a Left Eye was on some sort of spiritual retreat.
We're announcing the formation
yeah.
of MTV. Lisa Lopez.
And they actually filmed
She
it.
burned down Andre Rice's house, right?
yeah, she went on a spiritual retreat where someone gave her a vision of her death, and then she died like 2 days later.
Committed to the fight against AIDS.
I have never understood
Our goal is to
why
inspire
TLC,
people
after
in years to come,
that whole
the way
thing
Lisa
of her
did in her life.
setting the house on fire,
TLC
why they
is one
never
of the most
did a
beloved
cover of
groups in the
Burning Down the
history
House.
of MTV.
That was
The
a
biggest
golden
selling
opportunity
female
where
group
they could
of
have
all
covered
time.
Burning Down
And
the
there's
House
still more to
by
come.
That's true.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to bring you TLC.
Well, what's left of TLC, which is
TNC.
You can't say that publicly, especially how she died.
And the winner is TLC.
Ladies and gentlemen, TLC.
When we're
TLC.
together on stage, can't fight that. We belong together.
Bloody suture.
This is totally unexpected.
It's like a waterfall.
Don't be chasing waterfalls now.
Look,
It's
we
like
don't want
it
no
creeps up on
scrubs.
us.
We don't want no scrubs.
Like, talk about not coming to the show.
There was a lot of weird music-related deaths around this time period, because like Aaliyah died the year before, Jam Master Jay died.
No, I'm not going to bash Left Eye because I mean it's a sad thing.
I want to start off by saying God is good.
There's nothing worse than a black left
That's the
eye.
only reason we're able to stand here tonight.
No, I mean I'm not taking away from this moment for them.
Stop bashing left
And I
eye.
also want to thank Lisa's family. Even if they don't
Whoever they
recognize
are.
her mother, her brother,
Yeah, right.
and her sister have given us tremendous strength.
I think there were originally 4 women
I also,
in PLC.
No, you're thinking of Destiny's
That
Child,
was
the other
Destiny's
black
Child.
female girl group.
The Beyonce-led one that she
Rick,
just kind of left them.
We have the best.
I know they all look alike, but they're not the same ones. I swear.
I've seen Behind the Music or whatever that show was.
I'm just glad Rick said it.
That's a big part of the reason.
No, I thought there were
why we're able
of
to
them.
remain T-Boz
And one of them refused
You mean to tell me that's not Beyonce?
No.
There's
That's
Brittany
not very
Murphy.
well. Don't put words in my mouth.
That's not Donna Summer.
There was a show where one of them didn't want to sign a contract and
We
she
want to
left.
thank everybody for
They-
your support.
Oh, wait a minute. I think it was
and being there for us.
was
We
Gladys
really
Knight.
thank you.
I think it was
We love you guys, and
Chili
we
who
know that
came
Lisa's
in and
smiling,
replaced someone who
and
refused
we
to
just
sign
hope
a
that she's proud of
contract
us right
because she
now.
thought the contract was very shady. But they all signed the contract.
Well, yeah, you're signing in the music industry. It is always shady.
I like how Rick knows the lingo.
I find it interesting that during their little memorial for Left Eye, they kept showing Brittany Murphy.
And who said one is
Who's also dead.
The crank
Yes.
Moon Man waffle maker. Why have just one
CIA
waffle when you
programming.
can have 4 just as fast?
What is this, waffles?
POD alive.
I feel so alive.
Wow,
Christian bands are not that bad.
I saw them at
San
Red
Diego
Rocks.
Christian band.
Lincoln Park.
Supposedly.
In the end.
Speaking of not Christian band,
That would be
Snow
Newsboys.
Downs featuring Bounty Killer. K-Baby.
Why did they have to show me that? Like, why did they just show me
Featuring
everything?
Nelly.
Man?
Girlfriend remix.
I listened to a lot of pop music. I don't remember this
Dave
song.
Matthews Band.
Every day.
There we go. Finally, some real music.
Blink 182. First.
All right, this is a good song. Genuinely.
isn't this around the same time they eventually fell off too?
Yeah,
Pretty close.
it's like their last great song.
This feels like this is like the last hurrah for a lot of groups.
It was right before it all turned into hip hop and pop.
Yeah. Didn't they already win on this show?
Yes.
Of course.
You can win more if you're nominated in more than one category. Just for the record. You're capable of winning multiple awards.
Rick is still holding out that Dave Matthews is nominated for more stuff.
Dave Matthews is in the Hall of Fame. Just for the record.
Really?
No. You say that as if it's a good thing.
Years, it's been an amazing ride, and I just want to thank all the fans of ours and our families who have been with us this whole time.
Look,
I think Natra was already out. It was out in like 99, 2000. This was almost to LimeWire time.
Yeah.
And most importantly,
It was like the technology was already there, but MP3s wasn't readily available yet until like a couple years after this.
Yeah.
You were still looked at as a nerd via MP3s.
Stay tuned. Kirsten Dunst.
I'm not lying. So there was a night I went to a WWE show in like 2001, and there was a kid in line that had like an MP3 player, and we literally looked at him like he was an alien.
All right, since it's at a commercial break, this is probably a good time for me to take off because I gotta do another show in 15 minutes. So,
well, let's go ahead and give you a proper outro, and thanks for joining us here for this night.
yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I'll try to get back here a little bit more often because I have a few nights that are open now. So, I will be on Mad's new channel in about 15 minutes where we do Madapap, so every paragraph a pause. Thursday night, every other Wednesday night we do the Christian panel on Carrie Smith's channel. Thursday night I'm over with comics. Friday night Ascent and Art. Saturday is free now because hockey's done. And then Sunday I do my flagship show, The Bullpen, where we talk politics. So hope everybody has a great night. I think StreamYard is doing something to my coloring. Like StreamYard is flat here, and I don't ever use StreamYard, so I'm wondering if it turned on the stupid beautification thing that touch up my appearance.
It happens to Cider all the time. It makes him look more white.
There. It was to touch up my appearance. It makes me look
white.
Different. So, all right. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you, man.
See ya.
I did get a message from Cider, for those of you guys wondering here. Basically, his StreamYard is not working with his computer at the moment. He wants everyone to know that he's currently bashing his head into the pavement right now because he cannot be here for tonight's show. So, for anyone wondering about the well-being of Cider, there you go. He's great.
Is that like a sport up in Maine to bash your head up against pavement?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's called moose moving or something.
I would have thought he would, find a pine tree to start, bashing his head. That's all they have up there, right?
Well, see, it's a sport that started in New Jersey with the mob, and then they just kind of ran with it in Maine.
Right.
Well, we love you, Cider. Get well.
Yeah, let's not get crazy. Hey, look, there's Donald Trump.
Hey,
there's the future president of the United States and his super hot wife.
And Eminem performed for him. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Before he hated him.
Kirsten Dunst, the award for
Before he started talking about coffee pots or something like that.
Plus, Justin Timberlake steps out and
to be fair, he was complaining about white America in front of him.
MTV Video Music Awards.
No, see, Eminem was cool because he knew his white privilege even back then.
Right. That's the name of the game. Okay, that was awesome.
Here's something you might not know about these next three gentlemen. They gave a quarter with that order, small fries, Big Mac, they be illin'. The Kings, Run D.
I want a number 9 large, a number 6 extra dip.
Didn't they murder Master J?
Yeah, I think that was later this year or somewhere around the same time that happened.
Why? Why would they kill him?
They were going to actually come out with a new album and everything, and then they did, and then literally Run did nothing on it.
That's big for us. But when we
Jam Master Jay was killed literally 45 days after this event.
Oh my God.
No doubt, Rev. We ended up getting a retirement plan off of this right here. This dude here studied us for years. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the hardest working man in show business that I know. One of the best entertainers in the world.
James Brown?
This guy really know how to put on the show, y'all. Hey, yo, check it out. Give it up for my man, the incomparable P. Diddy.
Oh, boy.
Whoa. That's an awful endorsement. They've been studying them for years.
Oof.
Now we know who was at those parties.
Run, DMC.
So here's the Diddy performance. This should be good.
Turn me up. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere.
That's what he says in support.
Oh my God, he has that. No, please.
Half man, half. Ask the clubs.
How do you lip sync rap?
The Bucks crush crews after us. No games, we ain't laughing much. Nothing but big things. Check the hate list. How we twitch. What changed but the name?
Well, he was probably tired after one of his parties. He didn't have the energy to perform.
No, this is before the party, Rick.
Oh, well,
this is the warm up to the party.
Right. Yeah, see, here comes the stripper. And it's Usher.
Is this the night he got herpes?
Right.
Is this the night it happens?
This is why Michael had to leave early.
Mm-hmm. These niggas getting a little too freaky for me. I gotta get out of here.
I'm out of here, guys. We'll see you guys later.
Oh,
we don't believe you do that to women, Puffy.
Chicks that romance me, don't tickle my fancy. Bony Tiffany Nancy, that's not what my plans be. Need a girl that can stand me, raise me a family. Go from trips to the
I treat my women just like Sid and Nancy.
These girls be confusing me. I don't know if they really love me or they using me. Hold on.
well, I think you're using them.
Too, son.
Somebody made a great joke about R. Kelly and P. Diddy. It's like these are two guys that made an entire career out of making people believe that they were into women.
You know, if I didn't know the crowd in front was paid to be there, this would be just like that Will Smith video that came out recently, where he's like in the middle of London and nobody's reacting to him dancing in the middle of the street.
Like, what are you doing?
That's not his new single. Was it I Like Girls?
I like pretty girls.
Yeah.
Come on, let's dance.
I forgot. This is when Diddy thought that he was MC Hammer.
Dude, Hammer is a fucking G.
Who's the midget next to him?
Oh no, Diddy's around kids. Diddy is around children.
It's Justin Bieber. Oh my god. Why, Justin? Why?
Think of the children.
It is defensive lineman and everything.
The diddlers around kids. This is not a drill.
So many crickets. What is to be a young white boy? It is. Don't touch him. He literally is a Make-A-Wish kid. He's no reason to be there.
Eddie, all the signs were there. We didn't listen.
Exactly. I have no idea who this kid is. He literally just brought a child on stage to fucking touch. He's not even looking at him anymore.
He's like that guy in what is it, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones? His whole job is to dance.
I don't ever want to knock on wood. I'm serious. If they weren't paid to be there, it'd be the same vibe.
I guess a lot of people forgot Pharrell was a thing in 2002.
Well, they don't. I mean, he still hadn't taken the hat from the bear. This is what a Diddy party is like. Well, pretty tame version.
No. This is probably like what it was like at like 7. I wouldn't say this is what it is like at like 11.
It kind of reminds me of that midget pogo with in Hollywood Babylon.
No, yeah.
That was terrible. That was a terrible.
Again, not the environment you would want children to be around in.
I thought it was a midget. I thought it was like a midget.
Again, I just want to remind everyone. Everyone loved Diddy. Everyone knew Diddy. Everyone knew.
Yep.
Well, maybe some of those pogo people didn't know. They were just hired to jump around. You think Jimmy Fallon knew?
Oh, he just sexually assaulted Jimmy Fallon.
He just touched himself. Wait a minute.
He just sexually assaulted Jimmy Fallon live on the VMAs. Everyone saw it. You're all witness.
Look at his eyes. Diddy just ran out of there. Hey, quick, let me touch you a sec.
Whoa. Literally humped him on stage.
He literally did. Oh my god. And there he is, like, what the hell just happened?
Wow, that was
Okay, now I can't hate Jimmy Fallon anymore.
wow, that was pretty interesting.
I'm sure it was.
I feel a little violated. I'm fine about it, though. I won't.
You
press
got
any
off
charges.
easy.
I know better.
Oh my goodness, this is terrible.
Please welcome the only two people in the building that weren't on stage just now. Lisa Marie Presley.
Me and the white child over there, the only white people on stage, and he touched us.
Okay, someone here is dead.
Well, there's also rumors that Avril Lavigne died years ago, so who knows? Maybe they're both dead. And we just don't realize it.
I like how she's literally her trashy best friend.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at.
I like how she's at least like 20 years older than her, like dresses just like her.
Sleek, streamlined, beautifully crafted. The Moon Man is more than an award statue. Witness its versatility and strength.
Oh, girls.
Michelle Branch, all you wanted.
I'm serious. Like this was me and my favorite girlfriend. So.
Yeah, Michelle Branch is like literally every basic bitch ever.
Whenever, wherever.
Yeah. I just like this song because she goes here.
Pink, get the party started.
Again, Shirley Bassey did a better version.
Sure.
Back in 1968.
No, the recent one.
Britney Spears, I'm a slave for you.
No, that was a terrible song though.
I can only imagine what producers did to her for the course of like 20 years of her life.
Ashanti, foolish.
Well, she was in the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
The original white parties.
What was Ryan Gosling, and he turned out.
They were like, Diddy bit our shit.
That's why Disney's upset about it.
Okay, open it up. Find out.
We can't read.
Is this her first or second win?
This is her first.
This gotta be her first one.
Pink won the Video Music Award for Best Dance.
Oh, she also won for Best Dance apparently.
Yeah, I told you.
Oh, look, it's her bodyguard.
Oh.
Because, you know, everyone back then had a large black man to protect them in case things went wrong.
White pop star writing on black sex appeal. Yep, that's exactly right.
Yep.
Get a better belt.
Hi.
Okay, I hated this
expecting
look.
this.
Like, I'm not a fan of this
Entourage,
look.
I always wanted to be a rapper, but I'm too
I'm
drunk
like
for
38,
this.
but everyone thinks I'm 40.
No, thank you. Hi, Trey. How you doing? Thank you.
Are you sober?
Craig Logan, Roger.
She literally just said she's too drunk for this.
So much. I love you so much for sticking by me.
Rick, there's not a single person in this building that's sober right now.
Thank you to my fans, most importantly of all, ever.
Well,
ever,
Trump could be sober. He doesn't
Trump
drink.
would be sober, yeah.
And you are open-minded and you
He's
believe
looking at her
music is
going, what the hell is
freedom
this girl
and
talking
I love
about?
ya. Thank you. Oh, and Dave Myers, you should really come up and accept this award because I don't really make videos. So congratulations to you. Thanks.
I'd rather it be Dave Matthews to go up and accept. But,
When the 2002 MTV Video Music Awards continue,
Dave Myers, not
Christina
Matthews.
Aguilera, NSYNC, Jennifer Lopez, the award for Best Male, and a very special
Best
performance
Male.
by Sheryl Crow.
Just best male. It's not even for a video.
there's
And they want
Best
to talk.
Male right
And they want
there.
to talk about the patriarchy.
She was born in the Bronx and made in Manhattan. Please welcome Jennifer Lopez.
She wasn't made in Manhattan. She was on Living Color for many years.
She beat up Jane Fonda, okay? That's all I remember. Oh, and she's going to win an Oscar for Kiss of the Spider Woman. So get ready.
Hey, I'm proud to say that I grew up in New York. And whenever
Are you?
wherever I've gone in my life.
So apparently there was a really popular blind item from a few years ago that basically was like Jennifer Lopez is like another Milli Vanilli situation where she doesn't actually sing any of her songs whatsoever.
I could totally believe that. Even I sing that one song better than she does.
If
you have my love, baby.
And no one person defines the spirit of this
She's
town
going to win an
like
Oscar this year,
For me, when
okay?
New York City really
Well, so is an AI.
He was
So is an
the
AI
man.
script
Please
eventually.
welcome a true leader who brought this city remarkable strength in its darkest hours.
Oh, we're gonna
Put your
give-
hands together for
shout out
our
to Rudy
former mayor,
Giuliani?
Rudy Giuliani.
Yep.
The Rudy.
Before everyone hated Rudy.
Well, he went bonkers.
Keep in mind, it's 2002, so we hadn't quite hated America just yet. It was only been a year.
Did you just shake Diddy's hand? What the hell is that?
Now they did a TV movie about him with James Woods as Rudy Giuliani.
Thank you.
I hear boos.
Rudy. Last year at this time.
No, they're saying Roo.
Are
they saying Roo or Rudy?
That would double park that. That isn't my job anymore. I want to thank the music industry and specifically the artists who have supported New York City in this very, very difficult year that we've gone through.
And in like in a few hours, they're going to elect a socialist to be mayor. So good luck to them.
You've helped to restore our spirit. You've helped to raise money for the.
I revived New York. Now you assholes are going to ruin it the second I leave.
To give New York City the resiliency and that very special thing that New York City is all
They're going
about.
to
So
the city's
being
going
here
to
is yet
open
another
government-run grocery stores. I'm sure that'll go over well.
Appreciate that very,
It's
very
gonna be like those commercials where you just walk in and take the food and walk out.
Music.
We don't need profits.
Music has a very, very special way of bringing people together, and this next performer does exactly that. with
Leontine
style
Price.
and
Bring
with
on
grace.
Leontine Price.
Here to perform for you is Sheryl Crow.
Sheryl Crow? She's not from New
Michael
York.
Jackson's former backup singer. I should look out.
This is the I Love New York song, guys.
Oh, jeez. You get Andrew WK out here now? I love New York City. Oh, yeah. New York City.
Nope, we're gonna soak up the sun right now, damn it.
Remember the towers.
I believe she's also in the Hall of Fame.
Get the guy from Creed to sing this song.
Right.
The planes are crashing.
Oh my gosh. Shouldn't the guy from Creed be singing the Marlins song? The Marlins fight song?
Oh, at least the orchestra didn't come just for Diddy. At least there's that, okay?
Yeah.
Diddy just took advantage of them, just like everything else he does. These are all the people who died of asbestos on that day.
Mm-hmm. This is back when they were telling people, "Oh yeah, all that smoke you inhale, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it."
Great, we go. Okay, don't worry about it. Let's go back to work.
I'm mostly sure it's be fine.
There's another building there.
Yeah.
There's 6 other buildings there. Go to work.
This is around the time where people were just walking around New York and be like, "Wasn't there another building around here?"
Wait a minute,
guys.
That one wasn't even close to the tower, was it?
They had a great deli inside.
Mm-hmm.
No, well, I actually did go to World Trade Center.
Well, I did too. Before it fell and everything, yeah.
Just to clarify, I went there before 9/11.
I need to make sure you point that out.
Well, I mean, there wasn't anything there afterwards. Maybe.
Whatever happened to Sheryl Crow?
Man, like she gave up and like started becoming like this kind of a pop singer that nobody liked.
Mm-hmm. Then she started having opinions.
Yeah,
wasn't she always a pop singer?
No, but this is the same year she did the "Sweet Child of Mine" cover, like trying to like be all like, oh, I'm like, she was trying to be like too serious. As opposed to fun.
Do is have some fun.
As opposed to like fun having, driving a Corvette, blowing Bill Clinton, that kind of Sheryl Crow.
Oh my gosh.
We had like this mommy Sheryl Crow that like just wanted to tell us like how the world is like needs to change and everything.
Yep.
Nobody got blown in at all.
I give them credit. It's not like they're playing Sarah McLachlan Angel here.
That's true. Well, that's because honestly, that's just because there's no puppies on the show.
Well, at
There's
least
lots
Sarah
more to
McLachlan
come,
has a good
including
sense of
Nelly,
humor about it.
Brandy, Kirsten Dunst, and the Hives versus the Vines in a battle of the MTV2 bands. When
Oh,
the
cool! We're gonna
2002
get
MTV Video Music Awards
two
return.
one-hit wonders fighting each other in a battle of the bands. Great.
Is that a category? Best one-hit
Ladies
wonder?
and gentlemen, please
should be.
welcome Triumph, the insult comic dog, and his new pal, Moby.
Oh,
Moby.
This is when he was making tracks about Eminem.
Pretty great
That's,
show.
you can't. That's not Moby. That's Chester.
Yeah? Hey, I'm here with Moby. I don't know, I came from Conan. I asked them to hook me up with a hot chick, Gwen Stefani or the Olsen twins even, but they're like, no. R. Kelly may show up and want the Olsen twins.
Oh my God.
Jiminy
I'm
Crickets.
like, come on. So they give me this guy.
They're not having
No
it.
offense, man, but I wouldn't let you hump my leg.
And because you're a vegetarian, it would stink either way.
It's an interesting fact. Moby's related. He's related to the guy who wrote Moby Dick. So
Oh, yeah?
you're Moby without the dick.
Triumph, and please welcome Christina Aguilera.
They cut a lot. They cut a lot out of the book. They cut a
She cut a lot.
Yeah. Like the rest of her dress. Someone went to the fabric section of Hobby Lobby. It was like, this makes for a great dress.
Here to present the MTV Video Music Award for Best
They used the rest of the thread to make her hair.
What is with these floppy hats? Like, what her and Britney and like, what are we doing here?
That was a style back then, y'all.
Because she was also a musketeer.
And a couple of soul men and one real troublemaker. Check it out.
Is there one person on the show who doesn't have herpes?
Moby.
He was the only one who wasn't invited.
Exactly. Nobody wanted to touch Moby after this.
Wow.
Oh, see, boys.
John, this train don't stop there anymore.
That's not a boy.
I didn't even know he was a bitch.
Why are they showing me a 70-year-old song?
Hero.
Rubber with a bunch of $20 bills. That's exactly how you make her feel sexy.
That's heroic.
Just money.
You got it bad. Craig David, walking away.
Craig David, you might remember that guy.
Good. None of these songs are good.
Wow. That's right, I'm walking away, baby.
Without me.
Oh, I wonder who's gonna win this award.
This is probably the best song out of the ones I've heard.
Nelly, number 1.
If it was the other song, I probably would have went with it. Sausage.
Interesting. Eminem.
Oh shit! And this is where it all came from, huh?
Because remember, they were beefing at the time.
Right. This is awkward.
They were making Triumph was making jokes about Eminem.
Eminem knows the score though. That's why he had to bring 2 other black guys to help him out. Like, oh,
Yep.
shake Christina Aguilera, the crap out of me.
Yeah, they need to shake down Christina Aguilera because she might be a threat.
I don't know what to say when I be getting these awards, man.
You don't know how it is with Spanish chicks. They'll fucking put a switchblade anywhere.
Of people that I cannot forget to thank. First of all, I want to thank Dr. Dre, Jimmy Iovine, the whole Interscope staff, MTV. From the very first time that y'all played my video, and I was nobody, and nobody would play my videos, y'all made me
Well,
somebody.
dude, you had the most offensive shit in your videos. Like,
So-
nobody was gonna play them.
Oh, surprise! MTV didn't want to play a song about you killing your wife on their network.
Not even with Dido in the background?
No. And then I think the interesting part from this one is that they cut out the part where Eminem was yelling at Moby because apparently somebody was booing Eminem and he thought it was Moby. So it was like Eminem said, "I literally punched him in with glasses." It's like, dude, you're 5'7", like calm down.
Well, we just saw you gyrating in front of a bunch of 16-year-olds. Can you calm the fuck down about this shit?
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Like, literally all your songs is about how you were beat up as a kid in Detroit. So it's like, we already know you can't fight.
We know you can't take your mom, so just calm down, bro.
Yeah, right? Your mom doesn't like you. You get into fights with your ex-wife. It's like, you're not Sylvester Stallone, buddy.
Right.
Just for the record, Moby is also 5'7", so it would be an even match.
A midget fight.
Moby's a vegetarian, though. That means he can swing.
Kirsten's not speaking to me. She's mad because last year we hosted the MTV Movie Awards together, and now I'm hosting the Saloons.
I'm not mad. I'm just hurt. You didn't even call me.
Yeah, well, it's just that, since we did the movie awards together, you did Spider-Man, which made it was a huge hit, made like millions of dollars.
Literally, the movie
So
before this, for Kristen Dunst, was
Actually, you're
Small
right.
Soldiers.
I am too big for this.
And then Spider-Man.
You're not, though.
Yeah, right.
You're actually too small for this.
All right, that's cool.
Because you're basically just on Saturday Night Live, right?
Yeah, basically, that's all I do, yeah.
How'd you get this job anyway? Did they run out of Wayne's Brothers?
They will never run out of Wayans Brothers. Ever. Let's do the intro, please.
All right. Here are two of our favorite new bands. Put your hands together.
I can't look at guys like just wanting to casually hug girls after Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
The Hives. Yeah. Come on, I'll tell about that because I wanna.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't one of these bands have like a meltdown on David Letterman one time?
Yeah, that was the Hives. No, it was the Vines.
I have no
literally
idea who you are.
It's like, what? Try to be Mick Jagger, but worse.
Right. Dude, it literally was one album's worth of music, and you couldn't. There's no way you can go after this.
He is trying. He's trying too hard.
It's like one of those bands that sound good when you're drunk, but then you sober up, you listen to it again. It's like, oh god.
Right, and the worst one is like there was The Strokes. There's a band that was actually worth a damn. They were like this really cool alt version of the Ramones.
Mm-hmm.
And they could have lasted, but then they're the ones that actually just did 2 albums and dipped. Meanwhile, these guys got thrown on Cartoon Network like right after this.
Yeah. Especially after this performance, all you're going is Adult Swim, buddy. Look, I know we were giving other bands shit for lip syncing some of their songs. Maybe it was better if you had just lip synced yourself.
Yeah. Hey, fire!
You're trying to.
But see, they're a rock band. They're not allowed to lip sync, and nobody knows who the hell they are.
Nope.
This whole crowd of celebrities have no idea who this band is.
It's like when Billie Eilish was looking at Eminem when he performed at the Oscars, she was totally confused as to who that man was.
Who is this fan?
You're gonna put someone's eye out with that.
No, we don't actually.
No, stop. Stop it, Frodo.
I honestly have no idea who these people are. I can't see. I can't see.
Ah!
The light.
The rock and roll blinded me. Blinded by the light. I'm wrapped up with douches in the trigger of the night.
And you know, what's his name is going to win for playing Bruce Springsteen in that movie. The guy from The Bear.
Jeremy
Allen White.
That's him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
going to
see,
win.
this is his first gig.
The band's first gig, or
Why are both of these bands just white guys screaming?
Because that's what the style was at the time.
this isn't emo,
Good,
right?
good. The worst part is that it's supposed to be a faster song. I don't know why they slowed it up this bad. It stinks.
Oh look, he's wearing a Soviet shirt. CCCP.
He's wearing it ironically, though.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
He's not like Rage Against the Machine.
Right. This is Rage Against Your Homework.
This is probably what the kids were listening to as rebellious music.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I saw these guys live with All American Rejects and I'm gonna say one of those other kind of bands. It might have been Jimmy Eat World and the other ones.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's trying to destroy the set,
Yeah,
but he can't.
break his drummer's leg for the shit performance. Oh yeah, see now we're not gonna play the Bandit song. Actually, cool. That's actually cool.
Nelly,
Yeah, no.
Kelly Osbourne, the Viewer's Choice Award, Video of the Year.
I love the
and
Strokes.
long-awaited
I miss
return
them.
of
They were
Guns
awesome.
N' Roses won the MTV Video Music Awards.
I don't think there's any better way we can end the show off of that little ditty right there.
Of that little ditty? What kind of ditty are you ending it on?
Well, hopefully somebody found the little ditty from the ditty performance because I'd like to know where that guy's whereabouts is.
That poor boy.
It's like literally like that. It's like literally the Heisenberg meme where he's like sitting in the car screaming, "No!" Yep, that was 2002. So, anything of note that you wanted to mention before we roll out of here?
Yeah, the Strokes were an awesome band. They were so cool. I wish they were back.
I'd rather go see Dave Matthews. Sorry.
You and Dave Matthews, get out of here.
Yeah. I actually did see them live.
Oh, did they do a Shirley Bassey song or something like that? Is that why you like them so much?
No, they did a Morrissey set, so that's what makes me happy.
Oh, there you go. Well,
and then they closed out with Linkin Park.
You're welcome. Let's go ahead and give you guys the floor here. Give you some time to go up. Eddie.
What do I have? I guess I could plug my kick.com _ real lethal. It's a real complicated thing. Maybe next time I'll actually write it down underneath my name there. You know what? I want to give a thank you and a very, very gracious "you changed my life for the better" to the retiring Dr. Demento, comedy legend and parody singer, parody maker extraordinaire. So, yeah, Dr. Demento retiring today, and big influence in my life. Loved him, and I'm really sad that he's going to be gone. I hope his music will last forever, which it sure will.
All right, let's give a little floor here to Rick.
Well, first, thank you. I hope whoever's sick, Cider and Rob, I hope you guys get better. I have more reviews. I'll be finishing up a brief Psycho retrospective, so look for that. And I'll probably get a review for Jurassic World, whatever this thing is. The people who are saying it's brilliant, you people are demented. Yeah, so just more reviews and just finishing up more things. And I've got the Summer Under the Stars series coming up in August. So I'll be reviewing as many films that will be screened or any stars that will be shown that day. So there you go. That's pretty much it. Let's head on out. Let's head on out.
All right. Let you guys know what I got coming up. Nothing. I don't have nothing coming up this week because I'm in the middle of a move. So I'll be moving over the next couple of days. So I'll be focusing my time and energy on that. Sunday, I'm not 100% certain if there's going to be a Bible Ends on Sunday. One, because I do have an engagement before then. So if I do one, it might be pre-recorded. The only problem is that with the move, I don't know if I'm going to have time to record one. So I will keep you updated if there will be one this Sunday or not. If not, we might skip to the next bar room, which is next week. We'll figure out what's going on. I do want to have TWRP on because a lot of people have been apparently asking us about our WWE and Satanism episode that we did about a year ago, and they think that maybe we should do a part 2. So who knows? Maybe we'll do a part 2 of that. I just have to get them back onto the show, so we'll figure all that later on. But outside of that, I want to thank all you guys for joining us here tonight. Give a quick little shout out to you guys here. Cheers to Eddie, Lisa Dawn, Tomir Joe, Leslie Tarkin is here as well. So thank you guys for listening to another episode of The Barroom. Hopefully see you guys later. Until then, adios, goodbye, and good night. We're going to hit the outro. Bye-bye.
Dankeschön.
Okay.
Oh.
Making your way through the daily grind takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to tune away? All those nights when you're feeling low, the rent is overdue, and your coffee maker's broken, your luck just seems to skew, and your boss is always on your case. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. Roll out of bed and you feel the dread. The morning's looking bleak, and your internet is down again. You haven't slept all week, and your car just broke down on the way. Be glad there's a place online where you can feel at ease. In the Barroom Podcast, friends, we share our thoughts and tease. Every story shared, every laugh so free. Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Wanna be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name. So here's to the moments we all hold dear, in this barroom of the airways with friends so near. Every story shared, every heartfelt cheer. It's more than just a podcast, it's where we steer.
I still don't feel like I know how to shoot these things.